Good evening. This is Tumi Tladi, coming through on Thursday evening, the 10th of June 2021. Time it's 9:23 p.m. This is gonna be video number 0. After the overview of identical dogs, this is video number 0 because I had planned to walk through you, the person that's watching right now, what actually helped identical dogs to be what it is today. It's because of the project that we were building for CUT while I was doing third year for WIL, Work Integrated Learning. Also, if you're a student at CUT, this is imperative for you. Okay, and then I have some very interesting stuff to say about this system. Okay, so let me, because I just did a previous session just now. Okay, we need GitHub for this. First and foremost, there is a website, I believe it's still hosted. It's called, the project is called iNotify. So WIL, what happens with WIL? Okay, let me set up my stuff first. Firstly, we need, okay, iNotify, it's not here. We did not put it on iNotify. We did not put it on Azure DevOps, so it's not anywhere in my account. So this proves it. It's not anywhere in my account. We did not put it there, but it's on GitHub. However, I did something rather stupid than 2019. So let me go to GitHub, not you, GitHub, and you see that I'm not authenticated because I'm using a different, version of the mode of the browser in private. Okay, so I am not authenticated because we did create a repo for it. And then you as a CUT student, please, if you want to score marks, if you want to impress those lecturers that are going to be a panel next semester, make sure that you understand version control right now, and make sure that, wait, before we do this, stop. Make sure you have something like this, iNotify, we call it crew. So I just need to make sure that this is the name. Yes, it's been found. Okay, the problem is that I lost access to this. I know the username and password. It's just that I lost access to the keys for two-factor authentication. So that's a problem. So this is the repo called iNotify, redefining a sense of agency. So I'm a follower, but what I did a smart thing, I became a collaborator here. So I do have access, but through my account. So 2021, there's nothing, obviously. And then 2020, there's nothing, we did nothing. And 2019, I think this is when we created the project on the 14th of August 2019. When we joined, you see, shows that we joined on the 14th. That's the only thing that we did. So, but I don't have access to it. It doesn't have a public repo because what we did was highly sensitive. It doesn't have any public. So yeah, but I'm gonna need this tab in a second. However, I can go via my account because I'm a collaborator. iNotify-crew. So now I'm inside. It has one private repo. And if I get inside, and then you will see that I do have access to it. There we go, iNotify. So this is what I'm going to be showing, that the actual code. So now we know it's there. What about in Visual Studio? So let's do view, startup, or file, startup, or start window. And then it should be on the list here. That's if iNotify. There we go. Yes, iNotify. Let it open in the meantime. It's 7 projects as it shows. Okay, I'll get to it in a second. Yes, a CUT work integrated learning project updated on the 7th of 2020. It's me who did it. It's mainly using C#. Okay, now I'm not only going to show the code, but I'm going to do a little bit of a presentation. So I need to go to office.com because last year 2020 I was a mentor for third year IT students at CUT, so I was mentoring them throughout the whole semester while they did this WIL. And then I was using my staff account because I do have a staff account for CUT, but I also have a student account. And then what happens is that while I was using my staff account, I kind of like saved everything on the cloud. And then I lost access briefly to that staff account, and then I lost access to everything. And that was early January this year. And then while they were sorting out my staff account, what happened is I shared that project, that folder to this account. Okay, the other day I tried to share the same folder to my personal account, so it doesn't want to. CUT says I'm not part of the organization. When I use edward@frenzytime.com account or the co.za, they say I'm not part of the organization. So yeah, so now I went back to this account. So it's on OneDrive basically, and that's where I'm going because I'm going to show the ER diagram, the use cases, what iNotify it's all about before we look at the code. So let's give it a second and then let's see what's happening this side. Okay, is there progress? What's happening? Okay, I'll come back to it. I don't know why it's acting up, but nevertheless. So let's go to shared. If you are from CUT, you know how this platform might be familiar to you. Yeah, so my internet, come on. Okay, come on. I'm waiting. Okay, let me close that one. Okay, so while that is still loading, let's check again what's happening on this side. Is this serious? What happened to those 7 projects? Oh, yes, 7 projects. Okay. Yeah, no, the weather is clear. I should not be affected by the weather when it comes to my connectivity. Yes, but I'm not going to be long, but this is very important. And then a fellow developer, I did not become the way I am this good when it comes to identical dogs had it not been this project. So pay attention, be patient. Come on, because I just need access to this folder so I can start the design of a database, like how we designed it and what was the goal and what we were trying to fix. That was a problematic at CUT. And then now, speaking of our project, so CUT has both campuses, has 2 campuses, both in Bloemfontein and Welkom. So towards the end, because what we did at the beginning of a second semester, it's the same thing that Welkom campus did. Okay, this is what I need. CUT WIL Mentor 2020. I just need access to this. So what happened is that at the beginning, it was the thing of we were doing the same thing. We will come and present a problem statement and then a proposed solution. So our problem statement, what I want is this: Tumi Tladi iNotify WIL 2019. So these are the groups that I was mentoring last year. Now we said CUT students, you know this, that the way the institution communicates with the students, it's not ideal. We have some students that are living outside the campus. Sometimes when they come to campus for a specific class or for a set of classes on this particular day, they just receive this announcement on a piece of paper plugged on the door that unfortunately there's no class, or the class has been moved, or the test, whatever the case is. That caused havoc. That was the problem. The way CUT it communicates with a piece of paper, like sometimes, or most of the time actually, the lecturers, they even use the corky pens. They write with blue, black, red. There's no class. Class moved to a certain part of the building, you know, and then yeah, our class has been rescheduled. Blah blah blah. So the way they communicate that, and then they use Blackboard. I'm like, Blackboard is for announcements. And then, nigga, what you talking about? Blackboard is a thing because you, as a lecturer, mostly you expect to have your computer running if you're not at the office, or your laptop. The point is you have to turn on your machine, computer or laptop. So when you have your workstation at the campus physically, you have to drive yourself there, park, walk slow, greet people, you know, take your time, climb on the stairs, walk slow, greet other fellow lecturers, search for your keys, you know, look for a specific key, open your office. You know, I don't know what you do as a lecturer as soon as you open you know, the door of your office. I don't know. All I know, you don't just turn on your computer and work. You know, some of them, they take about 15 minutes to make coffee. I don't know. We told them exactly the same thing when we presented. But at the same time, we have announcement. You have announcement that you have to make to us. Why not just use a phone? No, Blackboard has an app. Yes. But we're talking about it's the way you communicate. Here we're talking about integrating a voice message. There's a feature from WhatsApp where you're gonna write a caption, and then you're gonna send a voice message. It's gonna you know, be received by a specific group of students. Enough talking. Documentation. Trust me, I planned to make this video because it's imperative. Okay, so where do we start? Group members details. Oh, as I worked with 5 other people, so yeah, geniuses. And then let me fast forward towards the end. The lecturers from Welcome campus, they came to evaluate Bloemfontein students, and then Bloem lecturers, they went to evaluate the Welcome campus. Okay, I'm not gonna lie about this document because it was submitted, and then the team knows this. This is how I believe everybody contributed. These are the people I worked with. We were 6, and then I'm down here. This is how the team is. I put in effort. Me, I put in 49%, and this is the rest of the people. From day 1 all the way until the last day. And then the way we did it, you know, my team was good when it comes to stuff like this, the designing, all that. But we're talking about the overall. But this is a major, because you can design, everybody can design a logo, but we're talking about the code and everything. So yeah, this is our contribution. It's never going to be the same. And then please be careful with the people that you work with in life generally. Not everybody has the same, you know, eagerness as you have. Not everyone is sharp and smart as you are. Please choose your circle wisely because they cost towards the end. Okay, so this is the document. Number 1. Use case. ER diagram and use cases before I come to user manual. Unfortunately, I won't be able to run the app. I'll tell you why. So I want the visual files because they are quite important. Let me start with the use cases. Open in the browser, and then ER diagram also open, come on, in a browser. Cool. So let me start with the use cases, because you expected to do stuff like this in second semester. And then I am doing stuff like this right now as a fourth year student. Okay. So we have the administrator called iNotify-crew. Okay. Oh no. Do I still remember the password for this? I should have checked the password before. While this is loading, I was meant to check the website. iNotify-mvc.frenzy-time.co.za. I believe this is it. And then while it loads, copy. I believe there are two web applications, and then there is web API. I don't know if, yeah, web API, or I could be wrong here. So this one, it cannot be found. It wasn't found. Yeah, unfortunately the web API version, I don't know where is it. I don't know, but I know the MVC. But rest assured there is a web API still hosted. I can't remember the domain. Okay, so this is the website, yes, that we built. It was a very interesting project. So now I want to talk about this. This our use case for the administrator. Useless. Where's the score? Oh, okay, so this is how we did our use case. Administrator performs crude, literally with everything and in everything. Users, roles, registered personnel, fees, faculties, departments, year of study, course type, and subject. And this includes login. For the administrator to be able to do any of these functions, they will need to be authenticated, and then we had one account, the 6 of us that had access to this. So this is for administrator. Let's go to the students. Yes, students. Now for the students, it's interesting. Now for the students, this is an actor. The student, they can select a subject or subjects. They can view all the feeds. Now the feeds will be a thing of the communication will come from the VC's office, like we receive the normal communiques, you know, like what's happening, campus gonna be on shutdown. So no, I'm lying, sorry. The feeds are meant for us when we say that the system it's under maintenance. Like we as administrators, we communicate something that is technical. So those are the feeds, I believe so. They can view all their subjects. Like I've registered 4 subjects, 4 modules, subject modules. Those are used interchangeably. So I can view all 4 of them. I can view all my notifications. Now those are notifications where we are told that campus is under shutdown because they are fighting for certain things. And then I can update my profile picture. We had to do this to showcase the power of web API, and I can log out, obviously. All of this, they include entering access PIN. And then please pay attention to this. This is very, very important. Having to enter access PIN needed for us to have logged in. Us having to have logged in, we needed to have an account registered. So having to select the subject depended on logging in. So this happens on the website. And then these 5 activities, they happen on the mobile side. Well, including this one is part of the website. But this is how we divide it. This is a mobile portion, and then this is the web portion. The restriction only took place on the web. And that's the tip number 1. Make sure that you can show the panel that you register account on the web. And then make sure that you can log in using the mobile application. The choice is yours if you want to have the register on both platforms, but don't waste time while doing that. Cool. So this is how we did it. This topic of access pin is a huge topic because Identical Dogs has the topic of access pin. Like I said, I learned a lot of things from this. And then we designed our stuff with neat and then clean and then beautiful. Let me go to lecturers, because these are the people that we say they're problematic. Like you're telling me that you reschedule the class, but you're writing on a piece of paper. Like seriously? Cool. And we fought them, and then until they're like, yeah, let's see what you're gonna come up with. And we blew them away. Lecturers, they need to register their account. They select the subject. Remember, the lecturer, they teach certain subject, right? Or modules. They can also view the feeds. They post a notification. So for them to post a notification, before that, they will need to select a group. Before they select a group, they need to view all the groups, meaning that if a lecturer is teaching 4 modules or 4 subjects, he can have 4. Actually, it's a must for him to have 4 groups. So he's gonna view all the groups, and from the group he's gonna select a specific group, and from that group he's gonna post a notification. So all the students belonging to this group, if they're doing technical programming 316C for a first semester, this will be all the students that will receive this notification. The lecturer can revoke access. So for him to revoke access, he will need to view all lecturer assistants. I consider myself as a lecturer, although I'm a student assistant currently, but they can revoke access to what I have, because I will have access. I do have access to their group, or that's how we design it. I will have access to one of the groups, so they can revoke access. It's one of the beautiful feature. They can view all notifications. Now, view all the notifications was going to be two-way communication where the student will communicate, but we removed that. But they can view notifications from other lecturers, which are colleagues. I'll come to colleagues in a second. They can also update their profile picture. All of these are happening on the mobile application, and they can log out. Okay. So revoking access this also includes their colleagues, meaning that if I'm unable, let's say a lecturer is on maternity leave or lecturer is in surgery, cannot teach, so the colleague can take over and do certain things. So they will need to be granted access to the groups, if not one group, but they still have the power to revoke access to it. So on the mobile application, for them to do so, they will need to enter the access PIN, of which before they can enter access PIN, they need to have logged in. The login functionality depends on the account being registered. Cool. So also selecting the subject on the website depends on them having to have logged in. Now, after they log in, also they can assign. We said you assign yourself as a colleague. So this is where they assign themselves as a colleague, but they will need to have logged in. They can also assign as lecture assistant, like they assigned me to be a lecture assistant. So I hope this makes sense. Cool. It was a fun thing to design this. We went nuts. Let me come to colleagues. Like I said, these are juicy stuff. This is good stuff. But also this shows that at least I have a bit of understanding to what the system did, or the system we're building. But this is important. Like, these are critical stuff. So colleagues, remember I said it's somebody who has the ability and the capability of teaching the same module that the lecturer is teaching. So they can view all the feeds that we post as system administrators. They can post notifications. For them to post notifications on the mobile application, they will need to enter their access PIN. That access PIN, they will need to have an account. That account, they should be registered as lecturers. So they are registered as lecturers. They need to log in only once, and then from there they use the functionality of using access PIN, 4-digit characters only they can post notifications. So before they can post notification, they need to select the group, a specific group. Now they can also view all the groups. Before they can set a group, they need to view all the groups, and they can select a specific group they would like to post notification to. They can also update their profile picture. They can log out. I think this one is straightforward. Cool. Lastly, lecturer assistants. and that's me right there. So I'm not the lecturer, I'm a student, but I can also become a lecturer assistant. This is where the role-based system comes in. One account, but I can function as two people. I should be registered student. I need to log in only once. From there, I use the functionality to only enter in 4 characters for access pin. And then from there, if I need to view the feeds, I need to first enter this. For me to be able to post, I need to select the group from a list of the groups that have been granted access to. I can also update my profile picture. I can log out. So this is the use case in a nutshell. I'm done with this one. ER diagram. It's a huge one, this one. I hope this is finished. Yes. What do you mean? I'll talk about this in a second. Yes, I like that warning, but this is the system. Cool. Now, here I need to zoom. I really need to zoom. Okay. I should be able to move back and forth now, because I'm the one that came. Yes, I'm the one that came with this type of design. Right now, if you're watching this video and then you see it as video number 0, please, when you're done, go and watch video number 1, particularly number 2. You'll see how I designed, and number 3, you see how I designed my actual database for identical dogs. So this will look somehow familiar. Okay. This table, it's a normal ASP.NET users by default from identity system in MVC, ASP.NET MVC. So we renamed it to be registrations. So it's one table for all the users. Us as administrators, students, lecturers, lecturer assistants, and the colleagues, we are all in here. We're gonna have this ID that's gonna represent all of us. We're not gonna have a lecturer ID or admin ID. We're not gonna do that. Only this ID column is gonna represent that specific person. The student number is of type integer because those are the numbers, also the staff number. So how does it work during registration? I'm glad you asked the question. Let me go through to register. And let me go via the login first, because I like to show off the login. So as a student, when you register, you choose that I'm a student. It will when you register, click the button register, it will assign 0 on staff number. If you're staff, it's gonna assign 0 to student number. Title is for everybody, surname, first name, middle name. This is a flaw in our design. So my students, last time I taught them this, do not submit stuff like this. I don't know why we left it like this, but I told them that I was going to be transparent about the flaws in our system. So this is a flaw number. Do not leave stuff like this. We have the gender, and then we have the email, phone number, faculty, department, year of study. Now, for the lecturer, they need to have faculty and then the department, but they do not do year of study and course type, but they also can change a profile picture. Okay, so during registration, the profile picture is going to be a default one. So for a student, you need to supply year of study and course type. Cool, I hope it makes sense. Now this is what happens. Okay, so login, you will need to choose the account type. Okay, that are you a student or are you a lecturer? So these are stuff that we did. Okay, so it's a beautiful website. I like the footer. This is what we call the footer. One of my team member, she was incredible, in designing this. And then this is our default navigation bar. Before I knew how to design proper navigation bars, we didn't have enough time for this. Because don't spend too much time on the UI. You can pull these, but we need code. Now the register. Why did you zoom yourself out? Oh, okay. Now the register is a different thing. Like I said, title is for everybody, surname, first name, middle name, gender, email, phone number, faculty, and department, password, and confirm. Do you notice that there is no course type and year of study? Because by default, this caters for everybody. Now, if I choose to be a staff, And notice what's going to happen here. You see title. If I choose that I'm a staff or a lecturer, see now this guy shows up where you enter staff number. And then it still hides the course type and year of study. But if I choose that I'm a student, this changes now to be student, entering student number. Okay. And notice that there's a year of study and course type. These are the things that blow the lecturers away. But you need to be able to grab an opportunity to show off this kind of good stuff. Now, previously on I think video number 1, I spoke about title. This is the correct way of doing it. This data is coming from its own table. Now, this gives me an opportunity to talk about titles. So where are those titles? Do you even have titles? See, that's a flaw. There's no titles table. That's another flaw. We added a table, but we never updated this document. So as a student, you're gonna fail because moderator, when they look at your designs and then they see that the table is being added, but it's not on the design, it's a flaw. But it's a flaw as a software engineer. It's a flaw generally. So, but we edit. This is where now the lecture at the panel, they're like, you cannot type in Mr., Mrs. and all that. You need to be able to select. So we went back and redid this part, and then we never updated this. Okay. Now the genders also are coming from a database, male, female, other. So this gives me an opportunity to look at the gender. Where's the gender? Do we even have a gender? Oh no, so we also don't have a gender. Wow. Okay. But we do have the faculty, where these are the faculty of Mabatu. I was showing one of the students specifically something here. Okay, it's a funny thing. So these are the 4 official faculties at CUT. So they're coming from their own table. I'm showing stuff like this because you cannot build any system at CUT and you don't have stuff like this. You're gonna get yourself into deep trouble. So faculty ID, faculty name. Okay, that's faculties. We also have departments. Now, what they want to see, that you should not list all the departments if you do not select the faculty. So I know there's a minor bug. Sometimes when I select any of the faculties, it will not show me the department. I know that, but let's try it now. Faculty of my faculty, where the legends live. Information. I'm not talking about engineering or built environment students. I'm talking about us, Okay, so this guy is supposed to now remove this select department and show the actual departments belonging to his faculty. Like I said, it's a known bug. I don't know if it has to do with the internet or the database or the code, but sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not work. So when you present, make sure that your system is robust enough before you go before the panel, because it's supposed to show. I don't know why it's not showing. Faculty of Humanities. But that's the idea. But I was able to fix it in identical doc system. Yeah, because you cannot have this. Faculty of Mabatu. I don't know why it's like this. Okay. In the meantime, so let's move on. Let's look at the faculty, the departments, and then we want to talk about the relationship. So one faculty has one or many departments. You need to show this. You need to show stuff like the relationship. You need to show that, and please use a visual. You saw my use case is on visual. Please use a visual. Don't use these crappy other tools, and because you're gonna have issues with having to zoom and use Microsoft Visual, and it's not free, by the way. Okay, so that's a relationship here. I need to move quicker. Now the next set of relationship is the year of study. Now let me start here. A student, let me start here. Now you're gonna see a bridging entity. Please, this is good stuff. If you can show them that you know what the bridging entity is and what it does, Trust me, because my system has a bridging entity also. Subject, like I said, the subject ID, the name of the subject, the code, the department ID. You see, this is a proper relationship, and I marked the foreign key 1. This is the primary key, this is a foreign key. Year of study, it's a foreign key number 2, and it's supposed to be year of study ID, and it's a flaw in my design. Where's year of study? Where is it? This is year of study. It's supposed to be year of study ID. Instead, I have year of study. It's a flaw. It's a flaw. Because when you give this to the developers, they're just going to name the property or the column name to be year of study, whereas it's supposed to be year of study ID of type primary key. In this case, it's going to be a primary or the foreign key number 2. And then the subject is going to have a course type. So year of study is going to be first year, second year, and blah, blah, blah. Let's do this again. Student, let me test this again. Management sciences, still not working. Okay, whatever. Year of study is first years, second years, third years, and then it used to be BTech, but now it's advanced diploma. So this is the year of study, okay? And then the course type, are you currently in first semester? Is the subject for first semester, or is it for second semester, or is it a yearly module or semester? So this is a course type. Okay, zoom in again. Cool. So now you understand. So course type ID, and it needs to match, and then foreign key number 3. So we say 1 year of study and only 1 year of study has one or many subjects, right? Yes. And then 1 and only 1 department belongs to 1. No, 1 and 1 or many subjects, yes, belongs to 1 and only 1 department. And then 1 or many subjects has 1 and only 1. Yes, 1 or many subjects has 1 and only 1 year of study. What's here? 1 or many subjects has 1 or many course types. Now that's a funny thing. Why do we have 1 too many and here 1 on 1? Only the geniuses, because the panel of the judges, they're geniuses. Watch out for all of them. Watch out for all of them. Dr. Mabanza, Mr. Admire, Mr. Hobler, and Prof. Masinde. They are genius when it comes to this. You see, I just spotted something, even to me, doesn't make sense. Why is this one or many subject has 1 and only 1 year of study, and then 1 or many subjects has 1 or many course types? It could be a flaw, but I don't know, because I can't recall. This is 2019 stuff. Okay, so I'm still going very well. So this is independent entity. Then we come to a topic of a bridging entity. But before I come here, let's talk about the registration. The registration in this case will be a student registry. So then we're gonna have a student. Now, because one student can have many subjects, and then one subject can have many students, right? Yes, one subject can have many students, and one student can have many subjects. So this is like a many-to-many relationship, of which now we need to have a bridging entity called student subject, and then it needs to make sense for the panel to understand what you meant, or your boss or your employer. Now, how I design my system and how I kind of like I gave guidance to my team is this. That every entity is going to have a primary key taking the name out of the table name. Or let me say, every entity, every table is going to have a column that is exactly as the name of the table, with just the exception of ID at the end. So in this case, we have it here. And then what we do is that we need to know the student ID. It's going to be a foreign key. It's supposed to be foreign key number 2. It's a flaw again. Now, I need to explain something. I said the ID is for everybody, but we cannot have a student ID, lecturer ID, because this is for everybody. But when we name this new column in this table, we're gonna name it student underscore ID, but the value is gonna come from here. I hope it makes sense. Then the subject is going to take the primary key of the actual subject, and that's where it's going to go. This is a bridging entity. So one and only one student subject has one and only one student. One or many, this is still confusing. One or many. Where is the arrow going? Okay, here it is. One student or many student subject is going to have one, and then one or many subject. This is still confusing. I'm not going to lie, but I know what I did. So it's the same thing as the lecturer. So here it's going to be the lecturer that has registered. We need to know, okay, this is going to be representing the lecturer subjects. And it's going to be lecturer subject ID. So we're going to have the subject ID coming from the same table. You see, we are reusing the same entity or the same table, okay? And then we're going to have the lecturer ID. So the lecturer ID again is going to be the ID representing the lecturer. Now comes the topics of groups. What's happening down here? Registered personnel. This was an interesting thing that we did. What do we have here? Feeds. Let me start with the feeds first. Feeds. So this is where we come in as system administrators. You see, it says one and only one administrator or the crew creates one or many feeds. So it's going to have a feed ID, the feed name, the description, and then who wrote it and when it was written. So we are 60 in group, so we need to know who logged in and then who communicated with the entire institution. So this is the feeds. Registered personnel, it's a huge part of the system. During the registration, because this is going to be on public domain, where even the people that are not CUT student or CUT staff are going to know about it. The moment you enter this, being my student number, I don't know why people hide their student numbers. I don't want to know. I don't want to lie. I don't know why. LinkedIn, people hide student numbers. On WhatsApp, people hide their student. I'm like, do you know I can search you because I'm a staff at CUT? I can search easily, but that's not the point. I just don't understand why. Okay, nevertheless, if this is a correct student, because I'm logged in, we're using the account. This is perfect. You see, I belong to Central University of Technology. This is me, Tladi Mutibi. This is my student number. So this entity called registered personnel, we said we have a way of dealing with the people that are not currently registered as CUT. We don't care if you were fired as a lecturer. We don't care. The moment you enter something, we're going to have access to CUT's, the actual database of all the lecturers and the student. We don't care if you're the VC. We don't care if you are operations what manager. We don't care if you are the HOD. We don't care. We're going to have access to that list. We only need two things. This is going to be internally. We're going to need the personal number and then the type, meaning that 2130-3844, that's a personal number. So we renamed this to be registered personnel. We didn't say registered students or registered lecturers. We just come up with one name, registered personnel. So the personnel number is going to be either the student number or the staff number. And then the type, if I'm a student, it's going to be student or it's going to be a lecturer. So this makes sense. Now we're done. Because I knew that I was going to take too long to explain this. Because it's worth it. Groups. Because for them to be able to post notification, this way that the groups comes in. So the group is an independent entity. Group ID, the name of the group, like TPG group or TPG students. That's the name of the group. And when was it created on? Do you see where I land created on of type datetime? This is where I landed. So now, one and only one lecturer creates one or many groups. At least this one makes sense. We're done. Next. Then we have the colleagues. Let me come to colleagues. Yes, colleagues. So colleague, the colleague ID is going to be unique to this table. I want to come to access requester. Access requester is another lecturer. So if I'm the lecturer, my friend is Kamu and he's a lecturer, he's the access requester, and that will be the ID coming from there. Because remember, he's also a lecturer. So that will be this. The value will be that ID, but the table will be access requester. Now, okay, this one makes sense because I need to come here. I'll come back to colleagues in a second. Sorry. Now, we need to talk about the bridging entity. Remember, one group can have many students, and one student can belong to many groups. So that constitutes, or that suggests a bridging entity. So this way, group students. So you group who? The students. This is internally, like how I build my systems. Now we have the group ID as a first foreign key. So which group will the student belong to? TPG students. Now, to which subject is the student is this group for? Or which subject is the, you see my English is depleting now. Which subjects will will be for this group? Doesn't matter, but you get the point. But you see, it's using student underscore subject ID. Now do you understand why I'm saying all my entities will have the IDs, even though it's not going to be utilized? But trust me, build it this way, you don't have to worry. That student subject ID, the one that makes up who the student is and for which subject that they have registered for, I need it here as a foreign key number 2. Also lecture. So this for the student. Remember, the person that creates a group is the lecturer. Now, the lecturer, we need to know based on the subject that who are you for which subject. So we're going to go back to lecturer subject with the lecturer subject ID. So this is the lecturer with that value and the staff number. And then for this subject, TPG. And then all of that is going to be bundled in this column, and then that's what it's gonna be. So now we have this group being created. With the groups are created, but now we assign the students and the lecturers to these groups. So this is where now the query comes in, that this Kamo is gonna request access to a specific group, which is TPG students. And when did they request this? This is where now the revoke comes in, or how long they've been granted access. This is where it's important. So we're done with that. Lecturer states the same thing. Internally, for which group, and then who is the lecturer? I don't know. Okay, let me try to remember. Lecturer assistant. Why do we have a lecturer ID? Let me try to remember. Okay, this one is easy. When did we request, we were granted access to a group, and temporary access up until when? Because this is a temporary access. This will be add about 30 more days or 5 days. And then for which lecturer? But why lecturer ID? Because lecturer ID is already in here. Doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, I can't remember this one. But the last part of voice message is now the main part of the system. I'm looking at the time, that's why I'm trying to rush. Voice message IDs, it's internally for which group of the students belonging to which lecturer. It's gonna have the ID now for the person posting. Yes, this is the person posting. Audio path, it's a string where the actual physical audio is going to be the caption, if it was opened by student and when was it created. This is it. Okay, so this is a website. I don't know if I still remember the admin account, but I still remember the student account. So let me log in as a student to show you as a student what's happening. Admin, to be honest, I forgot. I should have tested this thing, look at the physical password, and I only have one chance doing this thing only once because I cannot make another video here. So let me log in as a student because my account is still active. So 21 30 38 404. I believe this is the password for this account, and it's working with a live production database, and then through web API. But web API, that's where mobile comes in. Yes, I'm in. Good. So you see, it says hello Tumi Tladi. Okay, and then you see now I no longer see home, about, blah 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 blah. I see subjects. Oh, by the way, welcome to iNotify, an instant notification app for students and the lecturers that works fast, easy, and convenient, especially on mobile devices. You can read more, and then this is CUT, and then I think we have this is our HOD at CUT, the lecturers. We asked, ma'am, can we have permission? This is our app. So from one of my a group member, this is the app where she was actually sending the voice message, so it was recording at that time. Okay, a lecturer communicates with the student instantly using a mobile application. He or she will send a voice message with a short description as a caption. So we asked for permission, and then she granted us the permission. Yeah, and she knew she was on the website, by the way. Now for the students, these are students. Students will then receive an instant notification from their lecturer and/or lecturer assistant and listen to the voice message on their mobile application. So we asked random students, please listen to this. This is how the UI looks like. Okay, but I'll show the screenshots because I can't run the app because a lot of things changed. I changed the domain, so I never updated the system. Lastly, the crew, the people that built this. iNotify crew. iNotify crew are the administrators that control how the application works. They take on the responsibilities of adding, updating, and removing the faculties, departments, and subjects of the institution. They are also responsible for the design, testing, and maintenance of the application. This is me. This is when we went to present phase 2 of the system, the design. This is the database design. This day, before COVID-19, before the masks and everything, and this is 2 more members. Well, one was working, and I'll talk about the guy, and then the lady, she was taking the picture. So this is my crew. I had fun working with these people, Okay, cool. So you see in the folder now, subjects. What time is it? 10:15. Okay, but this is important. Like I said, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. I just hope that I can get I can remember. I know the student number. I can remember the password. I hope. Okay, here's the first problem. You see, there's nothing that shows. When you present to the panel, make sure you explain the known bugs or the known issues, because it's about to load. It's what I used that is taking too long. There we go. So the first impression, yes, indeed it lasts. That's what happens basically. So I was supposed to have used the progress bar. So this is how the panel operates. They like to suggest things on the fly, and then they note them down. And then if you don't come back having to implement that, you're not gonna get marks. So these are the subjects that I've registered. So this is coming from a table called student subject, not subject, student subject. This is it. These are my 3rd year and then 1st years and all that, but I was using it to test, to show people how it works. So I can remove, I can add. Let's see if we can remove web content management right away. So click on remove. You see the controller, it is student subjects. So let's give it a second. I can also add, and please add icons, go nuts, it's your system. So it shows me, it says remove by ticking or selecting one or more subjects that you have officially enrolled for. So you see, it's filtering from a pool of a lot of subjects, and says my current subjects added to the system 9, because we had to show the matrix. Now the web content, it's for 2nd year, so by the way, I'm not doing this in 2nd year. And if I click, the problem here is that you should ask the user if they are sure, and it says one subject have been removed, and you see it's gone, and now there are 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I can go back and prove that there are 8. So it's working live in production now. And now there are 8. Good. Let me cancel. Let me go and add a subject. So they want to see this thing. We tried our best, especially me, because it was a tricky thing to get this thing working. I'll explain. The total subject that are assigned to me are 8. The total subjects found in the system are 115, and we tried. These are official subject at CUT, by the way, official, all of them. Well, they added new ones. So at first we didn't have the filter. We didn't have this. It's easy to have a search, but search, it doesn't narrow things down. That's why we fought with the team, and then we asked other people that would you rather have a search or would you filter by easily. Okay, so we went with, so when we presented the first phase of the system, this wasn't here, it was only this, and then they're like, okay, there's a law, but now I need to scroll through blah 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 blah. That's the panel, that's how they operate. So it's a mixture of all the subjects on the system, but these things are not 113. Why is it not showing? No, these are not 113. Because if it says that 115, why are they few? Nevertheless, so I can filter them by faculty. If I come here, it's supposed to filter, because like I said, there's some bugs. There we go, now 76. Oh, it's taking time. Yes, now 76. Good. So I filtered by our faculty. Interesting, now they're 76. So this one's working. Humanities, let's see, give it a second. So please show the panel what you were able to design. Now they are 9. Oh, we did not add all the stuff. So this for humanities, the person who was assigned to do this was lazy. And then yeah, so let's go back to filter by faculty. It resets this one. Filter by department. So these are all the departments at CUT. Tourism and management, there isn't anything. So the filtering does work. Resets them again. Year of study, let's get advanced diploma. Do we have any? There's nothing. Third years, third years are 17. Yes, so the filtering works. And then first years, they're 71 first years, and then second years, they can't be 71 for second year, because I still see stuff that are first years. 27. There we go. Okay, so why am I saying this wasn't working? Year courses, year module 58. So this whole thing is working. The problem was, get me the yearly modules for this faculty. This was the problem. So currently it's 58. This was the problem. Now it's 76. If I say, oh no, I want the first years for two. I think no, first, yes, I think it does work. No, it doesn't, because this is a second year. No, I did not specify the year. Yes, I think it does work. Okay, let's see with second semester 16. No, it does work. Yes. No, it doesn't work. This is a first semester module for second years. No, this is second one. No, it doesn't work. This is why I said there's a bug. It's supposed to filter everything. Cool. So now you know this how we add log off. So this is the only thing the student was able to do. Come on quickly. And let's say in the meantime, let me go back to the manual now to show the screenshots on the manual. And we did a classic manual. Screenshots, what's in here? These are the use cases. Okay, I don't want that, and I want the manual. Let me try to log in as administrator if I still remember the password. User manual, that's what I'm looking for. Let it open in the meantime. I'm almost done. Student, okay, we are the administrators, but we are student 216000125. At least this one I remember. 3, 4, 5. No. Okay. Notify. pray that I remember the password. All this. Pray. Are you praying? Are you praying? What did you say? Write on the description below. You see, it's invalid. And this is another bug. Come on. A student has to be 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I swear the password is correct. Unfortunately, I will have to stop recording if I need to go and look for the password. And by the way, and I don't know, because we call it this way, that we don't know if it's a password that's a problem, or but what. The thing is, this is a production. The password I know it's hidden is okay, let me just look at iNotify. The problem is that the password is hashed. So, but let me check if this is not right. I'm only doing this for sake of, you know, because I'm counting the cost. So these are the tables that we're talking about. I'm counting the cost on, you know, this that I'm doing. Where's the registration table I was talking about? Registration. Where is it? I'm getting old. I can't see. Registered personnel. Identify registrations. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm only doing this because I was supposed to have prepared looking, but I don't like to prepare. That's why I want to go natural. I want to do this natural, bump into issues, errors. I don't like having to fabricate stuff, hide stuff, do stuff like that. Okay, I'm running out of time. Okay, in the meantime, so the user manual. I said the user manual. Okay. If I don't get to it, please just know that I try my best, but I know being administrator was the huge part of this. So the manual, in the meantime. So I'm not gonna go through everything, but we did a proper manual. Like we were good. Yo, we were absolutely good. 125. So, and then we did this, and then the person that did this was brilliant. Yo, is this even clickable? Where's the mobile? Home. Does this even work? Did they actually do this the correct way? Oh, mobile. I want this part. It works. I'm giving it to my team. Okay, quickly. Now, mobile application login. So this is it. You say it will bump into select account type, and what happens after that? And it will pop up this guy and say student, lecturer, lecturer assistant. And then colleague is also a lecturer, by the way. Okay. So login after selecting an account, each user must put their credentials to login. This is the first time because we're using shared preferences. So the student, it will say, please enter your student number, your password, and then we did these links. They want to test the links to see if they're working. And then one of the links is having to register, so it was responsive. So we showed them, forgot password. We showed them that it's responsive and it was working, and that's how they gave us marks. And then, you enter the email, and then mobile. This will create access pin, only 4 characters. After logging in, the app will take you to this page to create your access pin and make sure you remember it. So next time, this is a safe pin. And then the user will no longer have to log in the second time he or she uses the app. He or she will have to just put the access pin they created before. So this is validate pin. You only enter only once. So it's a nice feature we did. The application will take it, note. The application will take each user to their home page according to their account type. So the lecturer will go to lecturer's home. Now this is student. This is me. Hi. Hello, handsome. So this is me pulling data from the database using web API, and then this is where you log out. Okay, this is Xamarin, by the way. I forgot to mention this is Xamarin. So this is the feeds, subjects, notifications, and then the feeds, users will get updates about the application. Like I said, system update. Can I zoom? You see by B Totolo yesterday. Restart requested, restart your device to complete installation of the latest settings update. So this is how it will appear, pulling data from the database, minor bugs investigated by system admin, by me, so these are the feeds. Subject list. So this a student will see a list of his or her subjects. Okay, this is confusing. Why is it showing the groups though? By showing my groups. The group name is called WIL project. It was created by Mr. Benigomo, who was one of the lecturers that we used at the time, created on, and then we used this thing of how long ago. So that's why we have a date time object. So it will show the list of all the groups that you belong to. Profile picture. Yes, you have option to select and take a picture. I used a plugin for this. Status of push notifications. We used App Center, by the way. I used App Center. We used the Firebase to do the physical, because this is a physical device. This is not an emulator. This is a physical. This is a screenshot from physical device, and we showed them live that this is happening live, and it was amazing. We even changed the icon. It was amazing. This is where now students will receive instant voice notification from the lecturer with the option to listen now or later. So when you click, you would hear, this is for the group WIL project. This is the caption posted by the lecturer, concatenating or using string interpolation, the title, first name, last name, how long ago. That's all we need, date time object. And then you can listen now, you actually hear it. And then lecturer account, this is the lecturer account. So this was a binge promo, but she had to post herself there. Okay, so this is what she gets to see. And then when you scrolled, I love the cleanliness of the work, and she did this, by the way, Miss Bongi. Okay, we've seen this. Groups. Okay, this is the groups that the lecturer will manage. See, my groups, TPG 316C group created by Mr. Dromo 8 minutes ago. SOD 316C 8 minutes ago, WIL project 5 minutes ago. So you will see the list of all your groups. Now, group info page. Now, when you click the group, a lecturer will send a student a voice notification by writing a caption and recording himself for not more than 2 minutes. So we kind of like programmed it like not gonna go for 2 minutes or 1-2 seconds. So you click, they get to be disabled. No, they are disabled the first time. You're gonna write the caption. Time out if it picks up the silence. It's a plugin that I used. So when you click this guy, this will be disabled, this will be disabled, this will still remain disabled, this will be enabled. Assistant page. A lecturer will be able to see the details of the lecture assistant he is just assigned. So my assistant for this group, access granted to me, Mr. Tumi Tladi, created on access until 30 days left. So this thing will go down 29, 28. It will show it's not expired, and they can revoke access. Colleagues page, it's the same thing. To which group they can also revoke access. So these will be the fellow colleagues. Now, a lecturer will be able to access and listen to the notifications he or she just posted. You just click here, and then that's it. You hear the actual lecture assistant homepage. This is a lecture assistant. They only have access to the feeds and the groups. So I was also a lecture assistant. Updates, the groups. So I click on, you see it says you have access to this group up until, it shows 30 days, as a lecture assistant. Group info, I do the same thing. You know, I can also send the voice message, and I can log out, and I have the option to log in again, and that's it. So in a nutshell, this was it. The code, unfortunately, this is too long. This is too long. Even if I try to reset, I don't think that we did this thing of reset. I don't think so. Did we? Were we that lazy? Because normally as a student, we do things for sake of doing things, and that's not right, because you could have an opportunity to build an amazing huge system. So with the by the way stuff, but we did it. So the question is, can I reset this account? So where's the user? Oh, I made a mistake. 2161. Let's go and try again. Okay. Alright, go back. I thought it's 21600. You see, I made a mistake here. 2161. Okay. But at least I tried. So let's do this. If the process is not correct, unfortunately we have issues. As administrator. Work. 2161000125. 00125. So unfortunately it's a password, then it's not this. Well, this is correct. Now this is a longer password, and I'm aware. Okay, I'm gonna leave this if it's not working. I need to sign out. Unfortunately, it did not work. I'm sorry. The thing is, this thing is too long now. No, but I think I tried to get the point across, but it's way too long now. So unfortunately, yeah, XAML hard reload is disabled because it requires Xamarin Forms 5, like version 5. So this is Xamarin Forms application, UWP. We want to run it on iOS, but it's running on Android, you know. And data access layer, you see how you know, the same thing. So unfortunately I can't go inside. So this is a mobile application, and this is how we use that using Firebase. You know, we need this file, and then we wrote code for lecturer group info, just the view model, because that's where the magic happens. And then we have the web API, we have the MVC, and yeah, so a lot of things happened in here. The part of posting, where's the part of posting? Like there's a code for general, there's a code for access. I don't even know where it is, I forgot. There's a code for, no, this is happening on web API, App Center. It's happening on the web API. If we go for models, push notification, yes, push notification model. Yes, I remember this one. Okay, we need that one. The controller. Yes, push notification controller. It is the one that's responsible. Is there anything sensitive here? No. Yes, it will come in here, and then it will push it. So service what do we do with the service? Oh, app center, and then service is a class. It's a class. It will go, yes. So yes, this is the guy that's responsible for actually doing that. Yeah, post async, and then it will, from here it will go to because we have some sensitive stuff here like the keys, the URI, organization, stuff like that. It targets Android. And from there we are broadcasting. This is how the content looks like. So from there it will go straight to Firebase, and then it will ultimately end up on the user's device, physical device. So we set everything up, and yeah, so this is the tour of iNotify. Thank you very much. This is long. Unfortunately, I can't do what I want to do, but the code is on version control. And I also want to show something, that we have multiple branches. So master, we don't temp with master. I have mine, Tabo, Paul, Loazi, Jimmy, Bongi. They each have their own branches. They push to their own branches. And then me, as the moderator or the reviewer, I'm the one that merges. I make a pull request. If you look at the commits, see 689 commits for this project. And then the last time it shows that merge pull request, it's me who did it, 167. You see how many pull requests that we made. These are pull requests. I'm sure they're closed now. Yes, 171. So this is how we did it. Getting the latest from master branch into tail branch. So I will give them what's the latest. Merging master branch from to me branch, from me to master branch, and I will give them the latest. So anytime they want to work, they then know that there's something that's, so I'm the one that was managing this whole thing. So there are some times where there are conflicts, and that becomes a problem. So yeah, so this is in a nutshell iNotify, a system that I was very excited about. Okay, I hope this provides some insight, and now I'm exhausted now. So thank you very much it was lovely to go back. The last thing to mention, I forgot to mention this when we started. We were setting up a deal. We were gonna be assisted by the HOD of IT. She was gonna talk to the dean. The dean was gonna make his way to the VC office that the CUT buys, or we sell them, or they license this technology, because it's needed. It's needed. Even now, it's still needed. But the issue is that we could not agree, not on the price. We spoke about the price, but we could not agree what happens if now we want to do other things. Like I want to work for another company, I want to study. I will not be able to maintain this. So we could not agree on that, and then we passed on that great opportunity. But we did not play around when we built this. We did our best, but they got the concept. So many versions were still due to come. So thank you very much, and bye.